And once the people have, those are not the results that I expected. But one thing about me is I do respect democracy. And once the people have given their decision, I do respect that. And I love the newly appointed government, the president, the prime minister, the government, to do what they promised to do. And we take a back seat and then we see exactly how we can, correct ourselves or revamp and see how we are going to basically restructure our party, the United National Party. For me, that's the most important thing, and one of the reasons why I'm contesting this time is also to make sure that we regroup and we, revamp the party. For me, that's very important. And also to see exactly how we could be a stronger opposition, because I think in a democracy we need to have an opposition. There has to be checks and balances. As much as people might vote in majority, may be a single or a bigger majority. It's entirely up to the people. And then I think there has to be a voice also. Even at this point of time, it's been over a month since the president was elected, and we see a lot of drawbacks, a lot of things that they could have done differently. What I see right now is that they were not prepared to take on government. They had no plan. They didn't have a structure in how they were going to, they didn't even have the people that they were going to appoint into the necessary different agencies, different portfolios. So you could see that they were very unprepared, and they are very unprepared even now. But my theory is always give them at least a good 2 years. And then we can, be able to basically say whether the people were correct or not. But I expected the people to have given Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe this term just to finish what we had to do, because we were not in a very stable situation. We had just come out, we were in dire straits, and we had just come out of, the difficult times, and we were just trying to raise our head. And if we had only had another 2 years or 3 years to see the light at the end of the tunnel, it would have been better.
Right. But this time we see all main faces in UNP or the Grand Old Party contesting under a new symbol and a new party, the New Democratic Front.
Yeah, the New Democratic Front, yes. The reason was because our leader, Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe, went as an independent candidate at the presidential election. And it was too soon. We didn't expect the general election soon after the presidential. So it was too soon for us to also regroup ourselves. And I think for that reason, the entire alliance that was supporting the president, they decided, I think it was the right thing to do as far as the president was concerned. But my desire was, and many of us in the UMP wanted to go under the elephant. And I was not going to contest unless we were contesting under the elephant. But then also, I could see the reason to why Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe wanted the team to go under the cylinder. And for that reason, at the last moment, I decided, yes, I will, for the sake of the UMP, just to make sure that the UMP gets into parliament and that we will be a stronger party again, and we can rebuild the party with, a stronger team that would go into parliament.
So, now with the result, with President Kumarasana assuming power, people tend to have disregarded or rejected the traditional politics altogether. So do you think going forward there needs to be a restructuring of parties, the UNP's policies, and maybe a change of leadership somewhere down the line in order to sustain?
Absolutely. I think people were looking for, they were asking for a system change, But like I said earlier also, the last time when we did the same interview, I don't know whether under Kumara Dissanayake was the system change that they wanted. But they have voted in, and I strongly believe that this was like a vote that they gave in haste and anger because they were really angry with the two main parties that had ruled for so many years, and they felt that 2022 was a result of a culmination of wrongdoings of everybody who's been in politics. But while saying that, I have to also say that the JVP also has been in politics. And if we talk about the wrongdoings, the JVP is also very much part of the wrongdoings. If you take 88, 89, the wrongdoings bring Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa into power in 2005. In a way, it was a good thing because he finished the war, and I have all the respect for Mahinda Rajapaksa for doing that. Several times they've been in politics. They have helped us in 2015 to come into power. They were also given the position of, basically the Anti-Corruption Commission was formed, and they were given the power to deal with whoever who was corrupt and to be in the Anti-Corruption Committee and to, execute what they promised. Nothing happened there. So let's wait and see. I think, yes, we need to think differently. We are in the 21st century. We cannot be very conventional in our thinking. We need to think differently, think outside the box, bring new blood, new faces, and also give the younger generation basically the opportunity to come in and, take on responsibility and the challenges. So in order to pave the way, say for an example, I would like to see a lot of women in politics. I would like to see 50% in parliament. But how do we do that? Because if you look at in this election, I must mention Lal Kanta spoke in a very derogative manner about Jummah who is contesting from Kennedy. The sexist remarks that he made about on a platform, a political platform, to me that's a no-no. You don't look at women for how they look because of their color or their, their looks, or just because she's a, for me it was, I was just shocked to see somebody would speak like that. So we need to basically have a different political culture. We need to change our mindsets and attitudes in how we look at people, how we look at politicians. First of all, I think we need to change mindsets and attitudes about everything, in how we do, in how we accept people, and also what is it that are we looking at when we talk about agriculture? Do we really know what we want?
So many senior politicians, they decided to take a temporary break from politics after the new government assumed power. What do you think about that?
I think they have been in power for a very long time. Maybe it was time. It was a good signal when the JVP came into power. But while saying that, they also didn't get the necessary majority that normally a president would get. So they are like a minority government, in my opinion. So it is time for some of them to take a back seat or to retire from politics and allow the next generation to come in. So I don't find fault with it, and I think maybe it was time, and they obviously took a good a realization of what they have done and what they've served. You serve for a period, and when you feel that okay, now it's time for you to retire gracefully. Yes, I think that's what they've done.
You have been a mayoress of Colombo, and Colombo is like your how can I say it? If it's Colombo, if it's Rosy, so it's that kind of relationship. So at this time there are new faces contesting, there are young faces contesting, and they have big plans for Colombo. So what are the challenges and opportunities you see this time as a candidate?
Yes, I think there are loads of opportunities and also challenges. more challenges than opportunities. Of course, when there are challenges, there are opportunities. I must first speak about my tenure as mayor. I think my biggest victory, I would say, is the Waste to Energy project. To be the first female mayor and to eradicate the waste issue that we had in this country. I mean, we really didn't know where to dump our waste. And as a result of that, we saw the Mithotamunda disaster. And people have to pay their lives to, teach us a lesson. So I think within the 5 years for me to have worked on the Waste to Energy project, and today it's not just the Colombo 1 to 15 waste that goes to Kerawalapiti, the Waste to Energy project. There is Ratmalana, Devula, Ratmalana, Moratua, Kotte, Kolonna, Kaduala, this entire area. So goes to the Waste to Energy project, and this is the first ever project of this kind. We give 10 megawatts of power to the grid. So I think that was one of the biggest achievements. And also we have been, one of the promises I gave when I was contesting for the mayorship, I said that, the archaic sewer lines and, we needed to do the necessary infrastructure. And we did it with the support of the ADB. We had 12 pumping stations in line. 4 has already been completed and handed over to the council. Another 4 is being in the process of being finished by the end of next year. We should have the other 4 as well. But one thing I must say, we were going to we had put in money with the support of the ADB to do a treatment plant, because our sewer lines, raw sewer goes into the sea and not very far into the sea, and that's a huge environmental issue. So we had, basically contracted and had a contract with the ADB. We have started on this treatment plant, the Southern Catchment Treatment Plant in Vallavatta. Made every necessary, whatever that we had to do as far as, getting all the approvals and getting whatever that was needed to do to make sure that the treatment plant was up and going. But unfortunately, it is the JVP that objected to it, because the treatment plant had to be done in a park in the Roxy Garden area. And so for 2 years, we had to stall the project because we were going back and forth with the public, and the JVP was opposing in the area, saying that make ground like a dende bag, make ground like a make a karanda bag, because they didn't realize the importance of this treatment plant. Why can't we do it somewhere else? So it was not possible according to the project. It had to be in that particular area, and it was a billion rupee, a mega $1 million project. So what I did was, we had some old storage space which belonged to the pharmaceutical companies, the health ministry. So I got approval from the then government to relocate the pharmaceutical storage place to another place. With the greatest difference, it took me 6 months to negotiate with the government to take this storage to another place, and I got that property. This is
සමාජ මාධ්‍යට අනුව නම් මේ රට ඉතාමත් හොඳට පාලනය වෙනවා නේ. සමාජ මාධ්‍ය බඩු මිල අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. Facebook එකේ බඩු මිල අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අපේ ගෙදර කුස්සියේ බඩු අඩු වෙලා. බඩු මිල අඩු වෙලානේ. හාල් ටික, පොල් ටික, ලුණු ටික, පිටරේ ඉඳන් කිසිම දෙයක් ගන්න බැරි ආර්ථිකයක් නිර්මාණය වෙමින් පවතින. එදා කිව්වේ වෙළඳ මාෆියාවේ ඉඳ තමයි බඩු මිල වැඩි වෙන්නේ. ඇමතිවරුන්ට කොමිෂන් එකේ ඉඳ තමයි මිල වැඩි වෙන්නේ.
It's a challenge facing healthcare workers, a lack of personal protective equipment for Muslim women. Now, 2 Minnesota respiratory therapists are breaking barriers in the healthcare world by filling that need and creating disposable, hygienic hijabs. WCCO's Kirsten Mitchell introduces us to the co-founders of Mubarak.
Fraoli Adam and Yasmin Samatar met at St. Kate's University as first-generation students.
She didn't know it yet, but I'm like, she's gonna be my best friend.
The respiratory therapists then worked at hospitals across the country, but as healthcare workers wearing hijabs, they faced challenges.
So I remember going in, and the OR room is a sterile environment. You have to keep very sterile. So having your hijab like this long all over the place is not something that's very ideal because you're bringing infection to the room.
And they had nothing to cover their hijab.
They had a beard cover. And we looked at each other like, beard cover, like, they even have beard cover, why not hijab cover, you know? We're just like, this is okay, something has to be out there.
So they set out to be the solution.
We introduce you to Mubarak's Hygienic Hijab, a patent-pending biosafe disposable hijab that is FDA compliant.
Like the diversity and inclusion is really important, you know, making sure we're already stressful, we work in a stressful environment, you know, helping other people, why not get the support? You know, it's also about infection prevention.
Since launching Mubarak in 2022, they've received requests from workers and hospitals across the country and beyond.
Having the hijab there kind of tells people, like, as a Muslim woman, you're supported in this hospital, and your voice and your presence is valued, and that kind of empowers you.
Next year, they're launching a modest scrub line with skirts, dresses, and more, empowering Muslim women to feel more confident and comfortable on the job.
The hygienic hijab will provide safety and comfort for all. Created for us via
Muslim women are as amazing as any other woman, and I just want them to go out there and do their jobs in life.
In Minneapolis, Kirsten Mitchell, WCCO News.
The co-founders say their hijabs are for anyone, including patients. They've had people use them to cover hair braids or just for extra protection around their head.
suruh ke ada mau kasih kasih nah boleh bah oke tidak try dah kan ya. Ayo roll surat ini. Eka cake ko kumante hindi nila. Ini cake ko kumante. Ano kita ngapa dito sama? Kita ngayon?
Di bahay dulu. Bahay na dulu sama.
Iya, tahu. Sama dia ngapa kasih?
Kasih tegas.
Iya, ini betul sudah. Ya ada kini mana ada biskuit ya deh, Bisa buat tengah dia. Iya, sedap. Saya sama tadi ya orangnya makan kalau kau suka saja nih karena ada kamu saya tidak betul saja. Ada nggak sakitnya? Iya, dingin kan? Dingin itu soal. Ada sih terus sama dia.
Sedang mami mai pakai itu mami andala tine light ඒවා අඳින්නේ හොඳට thick එකට socks පාකේ
මේක ඇඳොත් ඇති මේ බහන් ගිලා තේින්දේ බාව පොඩි යන්නේ ලොකු බහන් වලේ මේක බහන් තුස්සි වට ඕනේද යන්නේ
එපා නේද මමිට වහන්න ඕන වහන්න
නෑ ඔක මේක
හා
sini jutaan itu sama ajam-ajam dekat makam itu masih kurang makam tak boleh kita makan ke makam susah deh boleh bahan ke makam tadi sudah bahan nasi di makam
dulu mai bang arbi yang wan mi
bang banyak nih gue pakai sama jadi ayam